Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Just a couple things to let you know about. The first one is this Friday night. Sorry, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, February the 15th. We're going to do a very merry Valentine's Day banquet of sorts. And so, if you could encourage your small groups to come, and maybe you could come and be with them, but it's just going to kind of be a you know what, it's a pressure day to have a significant other, and a lot of people don't. So we're just going to come together and have fun and have food, and it'll be a good time. So if you want to promote that, and like I said, maybe show up, say, hey, we're going to come as a small group and be here, that would be awesome. Also, the Snowy Cup's coming up February 23rd, and it'd be a whole lot of fun, as well as a couple other things that we're going to start announcing soon. On March 22nd, we're going to have a senior high, junior high combined event. It's almost like a lockout, sort of. It's not going to be all night, but we're going to go play broom ball, and then we're going to go roller skating, and then we're going to go bowling on March the 22nd, and it'll be a lot of fun. So you may want to be putting that in your thinker. March 22nd, it's a Friday night. It's going to be from like 5 to midnight, and so it should be good. And so we want a lot of kids to come and invite their friends, and it's just kind of a non-threatening good time. So yeah, if you could help with those things, that would be fantastic. Let's talk about last night a little bit. It was pretty simple. I showed a lot of videos, like maybe 4 videos, because the passage it was the last passage in the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 7:24 through 29, and it's about the wise and foolish builders, one who built on the rock and one who built on the sand. And Jesus says, those who put my teachings into practice is like someone who built their house on a rock. When the rains come and the streams rise and the wind beats against it, it stands because it's on a firm foundation. And those who hear these words of mine and don't put them into practice are like people who build their house on the sand. When the rains come and the floods rise and the wind beats, it crashes because its foundation is very not solid. And so I want to just I don't know. I just felt impressed not to talk a lot, so I showed a couple videos, a couple silly videos that one that portrays, excuse me, in some way a picture of what this might look like, and it's a video of these. It's a cartoon, but it's really cool, set in a cool scene and with cool music, to African kids and then building houses and such. Then I showed a couple of silly videos. One of the children's song that we sing, that has been a part of this story growing up, and then also a really silly guy who made some rap song or some crazy song, probably for kids, about this, and it was kind of silly, so I showed part of that. Then I showed a video, and you can see the video. I don't know that I can put it on this because it's not a YouTube video, but it's a video. It's called, you can go to edstory.com, and I'll try to put that link in the in this post. And there's actually 7 videos, but I showed the first one called "It Ain't Over," and it's about a pastor who got Lou Gehrig's disease and kind of just his journey. But the last line of the video was what I think where the meat was for this idea and what we were trying to get at last night. But through the video, he talks about his journey and talks about wanting to give up and wanting to quit, wanting to die, because he knows where this disease ultimately is taking him. But the last line of the video says, "It's not for me to worry about how much time I have, but rather what do I do with the time that I have." And I feel like that just kind of sums up the Sermon on the Mount and sums up what Jesus is telling us, that when trouble comes, and trouble will come. We talked about how nobody's exempt from it, but hard things, life will happen. If we've truly centered our life around who Jesus is, then it will cause us to be able to weather those times, because we know that we don't do it alone, and we know that one, Jesus journeys with us, but if we're really part of the community, that others will as well. But if we don't, then we may not have the ability and the strength to be who God has called us to be in the midst of those times. And so We talked about how our question isn't how long do I have, but we talked about how life is short. It doesn't matter if you live to be 300 or if you live to be 30. Life is short, and so ours isn't to determine what happens and how long we have, but what are we going to do with what we have? And we can live selfishly and be all about self, or we can live to make a difference in the world and make a difference in other people's lives because we believe that's what Jesus called us to. So I really didn't talk a whole lot. This video was 10 minutes, but I just kind of at the end just said, I've begged and I've pleaded and I've got excited about trying to get it, but ultimately you have to make the decision about how you're going to live and what this looks like for you. And that this is the call for Jesus and what it means to look like. And if we're not careful, we'll just look like everybody else as opposed to people who live for and with Jesus as a part of our lives. So it's real simple, and so conversation can be on how do we weather storms. It might be cool for you to talk about a storm that maybe you've been in the midst of, and how having your center on who Jesus is allowed you the ability to weather that, or maybe you weren't living the way Jesus wanted you to, and how maybe life kind of fell apart and you had no idea who to be and what to do and how that affected you. So personal stories may be good. Allow the teens maybe to think through things that they're going through or their life. And yeah, next week, it's another point of reference. Next Wednesday is Ash Wednesday, which starts the season of Lent. So maybe another talking point, and I'll put it in the paper, is what are things that we can fast or give up for Lent? And we don't do it just to do it, but we do it to journey with Jesus to the cross, and we sacrifice, and we try to do our best to maybe understand a little bit of the suffering that Jesus went through. And so maybe you as a group can do something together, or you can decide or talk about things that people have given up, and could be big, could be small, whatever the case may be. I may put some suggestions in the paper as well. So next Wednesday, there's no fuse. We all will be in the worship center for Ash Wednesday. Once again, be cool to encourage your group. It's going to be very interactive. It's not going to be sit. It's actually going to be a lot of moving around and doing tangible things that help us journey and get ready for the season and start the season of Lent together. So I encourage you to come to that and be a part of that, and encourage your small group to come and be a part. And during the season of Lent, I'll be talking. I'll still send out a video and just kind of talking about where we're going and what that looks like, and we'll go from there. So hope you're doing good. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, I will talk to you later. Bye.